What's this? The Russo brothers hint at rebooting and writing the MCU? Well, maybe. I mean, it certainly needs to happen, you know. So anyway, here we are at Cosmic Book News. Yeah. Joe and Anthony Russo are returning along with Robert Downey Jr. to make Marvel great again. The trio was responsible for ending the MCU as we knew it with Avengers Endgame. There's actually a case to be made. The MCU ended with Infinity War. Yeah, in defeat, you know, but well, maybe we're still waiting for them to come back from the snap. Yeah, the blip and all that. Oh my God. That was so stupid. Since the release of Endgame, the MCU hasn't been the same. Yeah, that's right. It suffered from weak storytelling in favor of pushing an agenda. Most of the movies haven't been successful, and DP viewership has dropped, so much so that the highly anticipated Daredevil Born Again is among the least watched MCU shows on the platform. Yeah, that's really sad, but yeah. Fans have also voted with their wallets with Captain America: Brave New World ranking among the lowest performing MCU films at the box office. The numbers don't lie. That all looks to change, hopefully, with the return of the Russos and Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers Doomsday. Following the MCU's post-Endgame decline under Kevin Feige, he's been forced to shift away from the previous storyline centered on Kang and DEI-driven characters. Well, yeah, but also added to that was the Jonathan Majors scandal. And it wasn't a great debut. I mean, you had Quantumania, which just fizzled and flopped, and then you the Loki show and all that. Yeah, and then, well, he got in a fight with his girlfriend, and there you go. Instead, the focus now appears to be on a soft reboot of the MCU. Soft. I mean, look, if you're going the Secret Wars route, which they're going the Secret Wars route, it's going to be a little more than that. But anyway, with Downey Jr. returning as Dr. Doom. Look at all those Dooms, but only one of them is Downey. Well, actually, it was none of them. He was in some sort of suit or whatever. And speaking with the Omelette, while promoting the release of their new Netflix movie, The Electric State, which, yeah, I'm not hearing great things about that. It says it's really an expensive movie, but it was also very stupid. So, well, hopefully they can do better with Avengers. Joe and Anthony Russo revealed Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars are actually the start of something new in the MCU, and not the end. What's compelling about these two new Avengers movies is they're a beginning. It's a new beginning. We told an ending story. Now we're going to tell a beginning story. Well, how about that? Hey, Doom, how's it going? Well, they also added that their films won't be strictly adapting the comics, as Secret Wars was an event released by Marvel Comics in 1984, and then in 2015. Yeah, probably won't do much of any of the original, which was still better. It was. And there was a Secret Wars too, but yeah. Anyway, we will always create our own version of the story. Yeah. So we use the comics as loose inspiration. Well, that's a little better than what they've been doing lately, so, you know. But, you know, I grew up on the original run. That's something that got me into Marvel Comics. Hey, me too. The Hickman run is also fantastic, and they're very different from each other in a lot of ways, so we'll draw inspiration from both of them. Okay, so I guess there will be a Beyonder in all of this, you know. So in a separate interview, speaking with The Times, they said their new Avengers movies will be more focus-driven. As The Times notes, the commitment to storytelling has fallen off a cliff, and convoluted plots have taken root. Wow. The Russos respond, yes, the MCU has got quite large, that's for sure. I mean, frankly, we struggle with that same issue. But Part of the reason Joe and I decided to go back is because our other movies aren't doing as well, and the money is exactly what you're talking about. There needs to be more of a central narrative. That was something we were specific about when we worked with Marvel before. We would like to bring the focused narrative back. Yeah. See, there's the suit he was wearing. You think they would go with that for the... Nah, he'll probably look more like, that. Anyway... They also teased the return of Robert Downey Jr. Well, there's no tease. It's look, please don't give up on Marvel. Look who's coming back. We can't explain that as it's part of the story. But there's nobody else in the world who could play this character the way he's about to. Well, you could say that about anyone else too, because they would all bring their own person, their own take on the character. So that really doesn't tell you anything. But odds are they're going to do some sort of thing about that. It does involve Tony Stark, but this is an alternate universe type thing. And within the lore of, Fantastic Four and whatnot, Doctor Doom does have the ability to trade bodies with people. So he could project his mind into Tony Stark's body and take it over, while Tony Stark is stuck in the real Doctor Doom's body. And I don't know. Because that happened and Doctor Doom's body got destroyed. So he was in this other guy's body. It's a long-winded story. But anyway, what will the MCU reboot be like? Well, they probably don't know. They're going to do these two movies and, hey, you're on your own again. We can only guess what the MCU reboot will look like. But it will likely be a soft reboot. Needs a little more than that. That means the new MCU could feature a mix of original actors. Well, yeah. I'm guessing maybe even before this, I don't know the schedule. There's some untitled movies and stuff. I'm guessing Doctor Strange will get a third movie, but that might be the end for him too. I don't know. And then there's Spider-Man. I mean, of course, a reboot could introduce a new one. I don't know. But he's already done 3 films and they're doing a 4th one. How long are they going to keep Tom Holland there, New actors taking over familiar roles. That's the thing, Will there be a new Captain America, a new Iron Man, and so on and so forth? That's what a reboot does. And then entirely new characters introduced into the universe. So, of course, you're already introducing Fantastic Four. Provided that's successful, they'll stick around for quite a bit in your new MCU. And then the X-Men. So a lot of those can kind of take the forefront while you reintroduce Avengers characters. So, for example, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars could introduce new actors. Yes, like I just said. Okay, I should have read this more carefully. But Tom Holland might continue as Spider-Man along with Chris Hemsworth as Thor. They're still chasing a potential new Thor film, and that might be possible. But even that is like, okay, one more, and then, you got to look for a new Thor. Chris Pratt is Thor, yeah, probably. But also, However, we could also see new actors take on the roles of Iron Man and Captain America, as Marvel may go the James Bond route. Yeah, it's the way to go, really. Keeping the same characters, but recasting them with fresh faces. Yeah, that's probably the best way to go, And I mean, look, Batman, how many guys have played him now, And, well, some films did better than others, but nevertheless, that is the approach. Of course, whether they do things right is another story. Yes, even if the casting is all right, you like the new guy playing Captain America or whatever, that type of thing, but the story stinks, Yeah, that's a problem. It is. Just ask Star Trek. If it's a mess like the MCU has been post-Endgame from Feige and full of agenda, it will all be for nothing. So anyway, Avengers Doomsday gets released on May 1st, 2026. Avengers Secret Wars hits theaters. It's going to hit it? Jeez. Well, it's a war movie. May 7th, 2027. Note, Robert Downey Jr. wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Or Make Marvel Great Again. Is fan art. It's important to stipulate that he didn't really put the hat on, And then again, it's like, oh, that's his real Doctor Doom costume, you know. Well, anyway, we'll see how this all turns out, won't we? Sure. But, yeah, this was a Hail Mary pass. How much money did they have to get him to come back? And they said, well, look, he'll be playing a different character. We can't use Kang. What a mess. See, it's not just their stupidity and pushing the message and what have you, but other things come along, you know. One of your actors has a big scandal, and even that is you could just recast Kang. The whole thing about him was these alternate timeline versions of him. There could have been multiple actors playing the part. I don't know. But anyway, of course, Doctor Doom is a much more popular villain in Marvel lore, probably the most popular villain. So, but there really wasn't the groundwork for it that a character like that deserves. You know, and look what they did for Thanos, you know. Yeah, this is last minute shoehorning stuff, but, you know, if it gives them the boost they need, then they can continue on with Fantastic Four and X-Men and hope for the best. That seems to be the plan. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. But we'll find out.